get down like shots get licked. Nigga back down, react now, I rain on your life just like a black cloud. Niggas claiming fucked out, but watching on the background. Don't watch no face, cause even skinny niggas pack pounds. The max sounds a brave heart, scatter like roaches, it's hopeless. Trying to beg for mercy, cold shoulders. Blacks, I stay focused, I don't smoke Joe, but the flow sounds like it's laced with coke, the most potent. Choking, overdosing on the lethal potion of oral group. Blacks hardware, we got you open like a filthy slut. After she fucked by a 10-man gang, I just let my nuts hang. It's over like the fat bitch sang, over like the show when the shots rang. Yo, I sink in my fangs into whoever step in my way. On the road to riches, cause it's MOB life. That means money over bitches, yeah. It's mob life, MOB's the way. Money over bitches every motherfucking day. It's mob life, it's over for these fake soldiers. Most niggas holding gas are just posers. It's mob life, MOB's the way. Money over bitches every motherfucking day. It's mob life, it's over for these fake soldiers. Most niggas holding gas are just posers. Chip on my shoulder, no one gets to live till they're older. You might find your mind blown while you drink a great soda. Tip for a soldier, feds got your life in a folder. Put your head in a post, you're only dead cause you're culture. Dead or alive, so many lies, too many spies. I feel like I'm low on my flies. I'm the ghost in the skies, and I spit like a stove and it fries. Exploding my eyes from a young age, always chosen to ride. Ferocious mind, the coldest kind. I feel like hope is flying, no is crying. The pain is too hopeless, trying focus piling so I can get my motion rising. Analyzing niggas that eat with me, speak with me, tell me what you need to see. Probably the same thing as me, a big house, some cars and a family. Just to be free, no one to tell me to freeze. Mob life, MOB's the way. Money over bitches every motherfucking day. It's mob life, it's over for these fake soldiers. Most niggas holding gas are just posers. It's mob life, MOB's the way. Money over bitches every motherfucking day. It's mob life, it's over for these fake soldiers. Most niggas holding gas are just posers. I'm just a mob life guru, still up to no good. To my niggas dead from the hood, I'll see you there soon, up in my mother's womb. I never had a silver spoon, just a dirty dagger. I roll it so like Mick Jagger, like a bad bladder. I piss a rapper's favorite rappers cause they bad actors. Watch my life and got it backwards, don't get it twisted. I spit this shit because I live it, so best believe it when I'm screaming money over bitches. So vicious and ferocious, so wild but so focused. I blow it up like Hiroshima, niggas gotta know. Pay attention cause it might be too late. Like Armageddon to repent, I represent for my tongues up in prison. Close your eyes and vision from fuck living niggas to niggas up in uni following another mission. My life's a contradiction, but I'm stuck in this way. Pounds and pence, MOB day to day. It's mob life, MOB's the way. Money over bitches every motherfucking day. It's mob life, it's over for these fake soldiers. Most niggas holding gas are just posers. It's mob life, MOB's the way. Money over bitches every motherfucking day. It's mob life, it's over for these fake soldiers. Most niggas holding gas are just posers. Yeah, you know, out to my nigga Blacks, Joe Blacks, Yanks, N2L, Have Not, Strong Back, my little nigga Young Smoke, Cold D, Joe, Johnny Two Bads, you know, my cousin, Dark Mandela, keeping it real on the streets of Ellawindon City. And this ain't going out to them ladies out there, so don't feel hurt. Yo.
In the carjacked the vehicle, drove it about 4 blocks. At that time, he shot young Josiah twice with a .40 caliber gun, once in the face, once in the stomach. Shot and killed this baby. This animal is still at loose, still at large. Now, since that occurred, not one church out of 600 churches, not one church spoke publicly about this assassination of this baby. Not one church offered any reward for this baby. Not one church has done nothing for this baby, nothing at all.
Now let me ask this question now. Now this happened on January 28th. We're now going into March, and the police force and all these people, they don't know who this person is?
Well, the father, okay, it was said in the past that the father did threaten the baby's mother. So the police believe that if he didn't directly do it, he had someone do it.
Well, let me ask a question. The race.
Oh, black.
Oh, black. Oh, well, then we can forget about it then, Okay. Yeah. Let me talk with you for a moment. Then I'm going to bring each of you in. Let's talk to Ms. Simpson. You're the administrator. Now, we're talking about this issue. What's happening there?
There's nothing happening with this issue. The churches, they're not doing anything. The politicians are not doing anything. We have other organizations that something like Save the Family Forum that's not really productive in the community. So we have a black child that's been killed in Gary, Indiana. Don't value the life. Don't.
This is the typical posture of the American government as relate to African Americans. Simple as that, sir. This is only a prototype of what takes place throughout America or throughout the world when it comes down to African Americans in terms of the matter.
Let me ask this question. Now let's move on. The quality of life for Gary residents. What's the quality? Now, what's the racial makeup of Gary? For folk at home would know what we're dealing with.
Okay, Gary is about 92% black. We have a police force that is 56% white. That should tell you something about the mindset of the people of Gary.
That sounds like Chicago. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Another thing we must bear in mind, just on a historical level, Gary at one time was considered the second Chicago.
Yes.
They had the U.S. Steel there. African Americans were very prosperous there.
Yes.
But when the mayor came in, I think the mayor Hatchett came in and taught this certain level of radical behavior. Anytime you speak anything of any level of truth, they consider that radical behavior in terms of the matter.
Now, Mayor Hatchett was what?
He was African American.
Ah, the first
Yes.
African American mayor.
Exactly, exactly.
In one of the big cities.
Exactly, and when he
Correct.
began to form this consortium of black leadership throughout the United States, the European Americans began to move out major corporations. One of them was the U.S. Steel, concerning the situation, to bring about a plight and a blight of the African American community as relate to Gary, Indiana, and that brought about the demise of Gary, Indiana as being a very strong economic power.
Now, Brother Dwight, now your organization, the Concerned Citizens Against Violence in Gary, you've been working with, just working your butt off out there to try to get things changed. And I hear in the newspaper a lot of corruption. The Justice Department just went into Gary to seize all the records. What's happening? What about the corruption in the Gary's local government?
It's rampant. It's rampant. I mean, we have local government, the city council, for example. 5 members of the Gary City Council voted on a baseball stadium, which is about now 7 years old, 7, 8 years old, which the city of Gary benefit not one dime from that baseball stadium. The former mayor, Scott King, and his law partners, they own that baseball stadium. All we do is pay for the NIPSCO bill, security bill, that's it.
Scott King?
The former mayor,
What is his race?
white.
Oh!
That's right.
That sounds like Chicago. Oh, my God.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Another thing you must bear in mind too, they have a very strong Irish mafia connection as relate to the political structure of Gary, Indiana, which is typical behavior of what we have here in Chicago.
That sounds like Chicago, New York, California.
Exactly, sir.
The Irish connection.
It's typical.
Exactly.
You want the economic development of Gary. The steel mills are gone. Are people working now? What's happening?
Well, that's part of the problem. As a matter of fact, that's a major part of the problem. Young people have no jobs. Now, there was a major moves deal that was supposed to hire many young black people there in Gary. What happened, the state legislators and our state legislators, somehow they called all the young people down to City Hall for applications. They came down there, they were disappointed. The major moves became a major mess, and that's what's going on, like I say, as far as the corruption in the city of Gary. The politicians are all tapped with corruption, and then it just trickle on down to the local government.
Miss
American.